Have you ever noticed that the harder you try to hold life tightly in your hands, the easier it seems to slip out of control? It's a paradox most of us experience. We keep patching things up, trying to manage every tiny detail, but the more we strain, the further the outcome drifts away. The irony is that sometimes the wisest thing we can do is simply let go and breathe. It may sound contradictory, but true strength often comes from calmness. Just like a still lake can perfectly reflect the sky above, a peaceful mind lays the foundation for life to move in the right direction. In today's video, I want to guide you into the world of Stoic philosophy, a place where ancient thinkers uncovered a simple truth. Only when the soul is calm do we become truly strong. I'll share with you 10 profound lessons that will help you attract what you desire without stress or endless striving. And most importantly, the final lesson will make you pause and reflect because it holds the golden key to genuine peace of mind. We live in a noisy and chaotic age. Day after day, we throw ourselves into the endless grind, draining our energy yet still feeling incomplete. So why not try a different approach? Allow yourself to rest, take a deep breath, release the pressure, and let life flow in its natural rhythm. Have you ever seen a truly happy life chained by stress and exhaustion? The answer, you already know, never. When you focus deeply and live in the present, you realize that without force or pressure, the things you long for gradually find their way to you. The very first thing to remember is this: learn to relax. What you're seeking is already here. You just haven't noticed it yet. Sometimes, it's the journey toward inner calm that leads you exactly where you need to be. But before we dive into the 10 Stoic lessons, I want to tell you a short story that captures the wisdom hidden in what may seem like the simplest things. Long ago, in a valley surrounded by lush, green hills, there lived a young woman named Luna. To the villagers, she was not only beautiful but also possessed a special gift. Whatever she sincerely wished for seemed to come to her in the most wondrous way. People from all over the village gathered outside her little house, their eyes filled with curiosity and wonder. Everyone wanted to know the secret behind what seemed impossible. They all asked, "Luna, why do miracles always happen around you? How do you make your dreams come true so easily?" The young woman simply smiled gently and replied, "This isn't some mysterious magic or trick. It begins with complete trust. When you deeply believe that what you desire already exists in your life, you start to feel it and picture it clearly. At that point, the rest is up to the universe. If you plant the right seeds in your mind and heart, your garden of dreams will surely blossom." From then on, Luna's story spread throughout the valley and became a living legend. The atmosphere of the village changed. People began to realize that within themselves, too, existed a quiet power, the ability to shape reality through their own beliefs, thoughts, and emotions. They learned that what we imagine and nurture in the mind will eventually find its way into the physical world. The message of this story isn't just a tale to share around a fire. It's a mirror reflecting the power of the law of attraction, how willpower, emotions, and aligned actions can turn our deepest desires into tangible reality. And before we begin our journey into the first lesson, I have one small request. If you feel content like this brings you value and inspiration, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you can walk this path alongside me and never miss an important message in the future. So then, let's begin. 1. The power of the mind. Ask yourself this: have you ever felt like your mind was spinning endlessly like a wheel that never stops, leaving you unable to find even a moment of peace? If so, you're not alone. In the rush of modern life, most of us have forgotten the art of stillness. We've forgotten that sometimes simply pausing to breathe is enough to restore balance. And it's precisely in those quiet moments that something extraordinary begins to stir. When the mind rests, when the noise settles, that's when the doorway to manifestation opens. Strangely enough, the harder we chase and the tighter we cling, the further our desires slip away. But when we loosen our grip and allow the mind to grow calm, the things we long for naturally flow to us, just as rivers flow to the sea. When we talk about mental stillness, it's not only about the pleasant feeling after a yoga class or a brief meditation. though those are wonderful starting points. What I want to emphasize is something deeper, almost stoic in nature, a state where restless thoughts, worries, and anxieties gradually fade, leaving a clear, open space where your mind can focus on what truly matters. Imagine your mind as a crystal clear lake. When the surface is calm, it reflects the entire sky, the clouds, the light, even the deepest wishes of your heart, just like a painting. But when the wind rises and the water ripples, even your own reflection becomes distorted, let alone your vision of what you truly want. The mind is the same, only in stillness can it reflect truth. Many people think relaxation is a luxury, something reserved for when there's free time. In reality, it's a necessity just like eating or sleeping. When you let your mind rest, you open the door to your subconscious, the deep place where your biggest dreams and desires live. There, every seed of an idea is planted, quietly waiting for the moment it can grow. Modern scientific research has shown that when the body and mind relax, we release endorphins and other neurotransmitters that help the brain become clearer and sharper. In those very moments, we become more alert, able to recognize opportunities, and ready to embrace things we once thought were impossible. So why do we keep searching for answers outside ourselves when sometimes all we really need to do is sit still and take a deep breath? It's like frantically looking for your keys in every corner of the house, only to realize they've been right in front of you on the kitchen table all along. You might be wondering, how can I learn to relax and turn my desires into reality? Don't worry, you don't have to abandon everything and climb a mountain in search of enlightenment. Instead, you can start with the simplest of practices like mindful breathing. Each day, set aside just a few minutes for yourself. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold your breath in your chest for a moment, and then slowly exhale through your mouth. Repeat this cycle several times, and you'll notice your body settling, your mind opening, and your negative thoughts quieting down, making space for clarity and calm. Practice this breathing exercise a few times, and pay attention to how your mind gradually clears. As the sense of lightness spreads, you're ready for the next step, vividly imagining what you truly desire. Picture it so clearly that you can see it, hear it, or even feel it with all your senses. This is the magical stage where the process of manifestation begins. In this calm state, your subconscious starts working behind the scenes, aligning your thoughts and energy toward what you long for. It's as if you've sent a message to the universe, and then you can relax and wait for the response, instead of exhausting yourself by chasing it every second. But let's be clear, this doesn't mean you just sit back and do nothing. Action is still essential to making dreams a reality. The difference is that when your mind is calm, your actions come from clarity and flow rather than from stress or restlessness. As the Stoic philosophers often reminded us, the greatest human strength doesn't come from chaos, but from the ability to remain steady even in the middle of the storm. So before you rush out to conquer the world, ask yourself, have you really taken the time to relax and restore balance within? Only then will your steps lead to lasting results. And often, you'll be surprised to discover that the universe had already arranged wonderful opportunities just waiting for you to be calm enough to notice them. Remember, the power of the mind at rest isn't just a nice-sounding slogan. It's a practical philosophy that can transform your entire life. Many times, it's simplicity that brings the greatest results. Less, in many ways, truly is more. Next time you feel weighed down by pressure or swept away by chaos, try pausing. Take a deep breath, release your worries, and watch as your hidden desires begin to surface. In a world full of noise and distraction, the miracle often appears only when we're quiet enough to listen. As Epictetus once reminded us, in the calm of the mind, a person finds the true voice of themselves. 2. Let things flow naturally and learn to receive. Have you ever noticed how often you try to control too many things? From the small details of daily routines to the big plans we draw up in our minds, we constantly want everything to go our way. Yet the tighter we try to hold on, the more life slips away, like water running out of our hands. And what's the result of this constant struggle for control? Usually, it's nothing more than stress, disappointment, and the nagging worry that life is spinning out of our grasp, just like trying to hold water that seeps through your fingers, no matter how hard you squeeze. In this endless battle to control everything, we often forget a simple lesson. Sometimes the wisest choice is to pause, breathe, and let life's current carry us forward. This isn't about giving up, it's about letting go, intelligently. The Stoic philosophers often reminded us of this. Much of what we think we control is really just an illusion. Imagine you're sitting on a roller coaster. Whether you scream, grip the handle tightly, or squeeze your eyes shut, the ride is going to follow its track. Resisting only makes you more exhausted and dizzy. Life is the same, full of sudden twists and steep drops. If you try to control every turn, you might miss the beauty and thrill of the ride itself. So why not loosen your grip, enjoy the journey, and allow yourself to laugh a little more? One of the most effective ways to practice this is by cultivating mindfulness. That doesn't mean sitting cross-legged in silence for hours. It simply means learning to observe life as it unfolds, moment by moment, without rushing to label or judge it. For example, if you're stuck in heavy traffic, instead of fuming and blaming everyone around you for being careless, try shifting your perspective. You might play your favorite song, look up at the sky, or simply focus on the rhythm of your breath. Suddenly, you're no longer just a victim of a traffic jam, you become an observer, experiencing a different texture of life. And once you take the position of an observer, everything instantly feels much lighter. This skill of letting go is also especially useful in personal relationships. So often, in trying to get others to act the way we want, we unintentionally create unnecessary tension. But here's a truth that's hard for many to accept. You can't change anyone, no matter how hard you try. Instead of bending friends or loved ones into the version you imagine, try opening your heart to accept them as they truly are. You can invite them to share an activity or suggest something new, but if they say no, don't let disappointment take over. Respecting differences is one of the best ways to keep relationships peaceful and strong. Allow yourself to relax, enjoy your own presence, and let the people around you move freely to the rhythm of their own lives. Learning to let go doesn't happen overnight. It takes patience and practice, much like the first time you learn to ride a bike. At the beginning, everything feels shaky, with the constant fear that you might fall at any moment. But with each attempt, your confidence grows, until balance becomes second nature and you even start to enjoy the smooth, effortless ride. Life in many ways isn't so different from learning to ride that bike. It's a blend of balance and appreciating the journey itself. If we're too fixated on the destination, we miss the countless beautiful moments along the way. But when we stop resisting and allow things to flow naturally, we create an inner space of ease, a place where peace and growth can take root. This is the power of the art of letting go, a practice celebrated in many ancient philosophies. So if one day you feel stuck, instead of struggling in despair, try pausing, taking a deep breath, and relaxing. It's in that state that creativity awakens, and your dreams begin to unfold naturally. Stoic philosophy once put it this way: life is like a river. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is let yourself drift and enjoy the ride. Would you dare, just once, to let life carry you forward and see what surprises lie ahead? 3. Manifesting through the energy of gratitude. Have you ever stopped to reflect on the connection between gratitude and the ability to make your dreams real? At first, it might sound like one of those Sunday self-help talks, but in truth, it's a simple law of life. Gratitude and manifestation go hand in hand, like two streams joining into one powerful river, capable of changing the course of your life. Picture yourself walking into a party. If your mindset is open, genuine, and grateful, you'll naturally attract and connect with interesting people who bring valuable opportunities into your life. But if you show up with complaints, boredom, or bitterness, not only will others find it hard to approach you, but you'll also shut yourself off from the good things waiting for you. The link between gratitude and manifestation is so direct that you can feel it once you start practicing it. When you truly appreciate simple things, a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a cool breeze in the afternoon, or even a melody that suddenly plays in your head, you're sending a signal out to life. And in its own way, the universe responds. This person knows how to enjoy and appreciate. Let's give them even more reasons to smile. From the foundation of gratitude, you'll notice that manifesting becomes easier because you're no longer coming from a place of lack or anxious desire, but from a place of fullness and abundance. That's why sometimes all it takes is shifting your perspective, and your entire life can change. So the next time you find yourself caught in the cycle of thinking, I don't have enough, or I'm still missing this or that, pause and try something simple. List out the small things that bring you joy. Maybe it's a slow morning with coffee, an unexpected compliment, or just a moment of breathing in fresh air. You'll be surprised to realize how much you already have and how often you overlook it. When people talk about manifestation, it's easy to mistake it for daydreaming, like hoping an ex will show up with a bouquet of flowers. But the truth is very different. Manifestation is the process of shaping a life that reflects your deepest dreams and desires. Imagine you're an artist standing before a blank canvas. If the background is already painted with gratitude, then every brushstroke of your dreams will shine more vividly and feel more alive. There's a familiar saying, when you relax and release, your wishes begin to come true. But the real question is, how do you maintain that calm state amid the chaos of daily life? The answer lies in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed happiness doesn't come from trying to control everything, but from clearly distinguishing between what's within your control and what isn't. When you face a challenge, instead of getting angry or resentful, remind yourself, this is an opportunity to learn and grow. This mindset not only eases your stress, but also expands your heart, making you more grateful for every experience, whether it's a sweet moment or a painful fall. And in that gratitude, you find the strength to manifest your desires naturally. Where can you begin? One of the simplest, most effective practices is keeping a gratitude journal. Each night before bed, write down 3 things you felt thankful for that day. It could be a warm conversation, finishing a task on time, or simply enjoying a good meal. Over time, this habit trains your mind to focus on the positive and opens up new energy to welcome more good things into your life. Practice meditation, too. You don't need to be a yoga master or memorize complicated mantras to start. Just find a quiet corner, sit down, close your eyes, and let your thoughts drift by like clouds floating across the sky. As your mind relaxes, a natural stillness emerges. And in that state, you'll discover a clear mirror where your truest desires can reveal themselves more clearly than ever. 4. Surround yourself with people who value gratitude. Positive energy spreads more powerfully than we often realize. When you step into a community where people cultivate gratitude and maintain a positive outlook on life, you'll feel supported and energized, gaining the motivation to keep moving forward. It's like having a safe harbor, a place where you can always draw strength to stay focused on your goals. Practicing manifestation through gratitude isn't just a personal choice, it's an essential need if you want to build a meaningful and fulfilling life. The connection between what you already have and what you desire is stronger than you think. When gratitude becomes your foundation, you become like a magnet, naturally attracting opportunities, good fortune, and the right people into your life. So, when life seems to turn its back on you, don't give in to despair. Instead, look inward and ask yourself, what do I still have to be grateful for in this moment? The answer will almost always be more than you expected. That small spark of gratitude can become the anchor that steadies you and opens new doors. When you combine gratitude with the Stoic mindset, you learn how to release excessive desires and live more lightly. You stop clinging to unrealistic expectations and instead adopt an open attitude that allows you to receive whatever life brings. Gandhi once said, when you are grateful for what you have, you unlock the door to all possibilities. 5. The power of the law of attraction. Have you ever felt as if the universe had forgotten about you, sitting quietly with a cup of tea or coffee, wishing just once that things would flow more smoothly? But the truth is, the key to attracting what you long for is often right in front of you, not some distant miracle. We're talking about a principle that may sound familiar, but is never outdated: the law of attraction. In fact, it's deeply connected to the wisdom of ancient Stoicism. At its core, it still comes back to gratitude. Ask yourself, how many times have you overlooked the small gifts life has given you simply because you were too focused on what you didn't yet have? When we forget to be grateful, we close the very door that leads to abundance. But when we start appreciating even the smallest things, the universe seems to respond by giving us even more. Think of your life as a vast garden. If your eyes stay fixed only on the weeds, the shortcomings, the goals you haven't yet reached, you'll easily overlook the beautiful flowers already blooming from your efforts. Gratitude is the fresh water and warm sunlight that nourish that garden. When you nurture appreciation for what's already there, not only does your current garden grow more vibrant, but your inner soil also becomes fertile, ready for new seeds, new opportunities waiting to be discovered. The bond between gratitude and manifestation is like a graceful dance, each movement supporting the other. Gratitude lifts you into a higher vibration, opening your heart to receive new blessings. Manifestation, on the other hand, is like sending out a clear message to the universe, affirming what you desire. But think about it, why would the universe be ready to respond if you don't already value the gifts you've been given? Here's a simple way to start. Each morning, write down at least 3 things you're grateful for. They don't need to be grand. It could be a home-cooked meal, a steaming cup of coffee that wakes you up for a busy day, or a kind word from someone close to you. That small list acts as a mirror, reminding you that even in moments of lack or fatigue, you still have countless reasons to smile. It's like walking into a buffet. If you just stand there staring at the food without reaching out to take a plate, you'll never taste anything. Gratitude works the same way. It requires daily practice and conscious choice, not just the awareness that good things exist around you. Of course, it's important to be clear. Gratitude isn't a magic wand that makes all struggles disappear, nor does it mean faking happiness while chaos brews inside. Instead, gratitude is a new way of approaching life, helping you face challenges with a calmer, lighter, and more adaptable spirit. Next time hardship knocks at your door, instead of asking, "Why me?" try asking, "What is this here to teach me?" Every difficulty, when seen through the lens of gratitude, becomes a piece of the puzzle that helps you grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. At its core, Stoicism reminds us that happiness doesn't depend on circumstances, but on how we choose to respond to them. A Stoic doesn't let sadness, chaos, or external turbulence shake their inner foundation of peace. Maybe you've wondered, isn't letting go, trusting, and visualizing my desires just another social media cliche? It might sound simple, but in reality, it holds a deep truth. When your mind is tense and anxious, it's like walking on a road filled with stones. Every step feels heavy, and your dreams seem far away. Only when you release that weight and accept life's natural flow can you create the space to welcome unexpected blessings. The universe, much like music, has its own rhythm. Sometimes the things you're hoping for don't arrive right away, but instead appear at the moment you least expect. Here, gratitude acts as the bridge between what you already have and what you dream of. A grateful mind is like a flashlight in the dark. It doesn't eliminate all the darkness, but it shines enough light to guide your next steps. So, learn to loosen your grip. Be thankful for even the smallest things, and watch how the universe slowly rearranges itself to bring you what you need. Each time you plant a seed of gratitude, you move one step closer to a life of fulfillment and abundance. As Nelson Mandela once reminded us, those who are grateful for small things will soon find themselves receiving much more. 6. The power of mindfulness on the journey to fulfillment. Have you ever truly paused and noticed the extraordinary power of mindfulness? When we give our full attention to the present moment, when we stop letting ourselves get carried away by endless streams of thought, we tap into an invisible yet powerful source of energy. In today's world, where noise and speed dominate every corner of life, mindfulness is nothing short of a superpower that few people take the time to cultivate. At the first glance, this may sound like a cliche, but in reality, it's one of the most essential foundations for attracting abundance. A calm and clear mind is like fertile soil, where the seeds of opportunity can take root and grow. Stoic philosophy, with its focus on self-discipline and self-mastery, is a powerful tool to sharpen this very superpower. In the end, you don't need some mystical miracle from outside yourself. The greatest miracle lies in your ability to guide and master your own mind. When you train yourself to observe and recognize every thought and emotion as it arises, you become more sensitive to the signals and opportunities life sends your way. Imagine yourself at the helm of your own ship, confidently choosing its course rather than letting it drift aimlessly in the waves. Sadness, frustration, or despair don't move you forward. They're like storms that keep your vessel stuck. So how do you step into a state of openness, relaxation, and readiness to receive the things you long for? One of the simplest yet most effective ways is through the practice of mindfulness meditation. Think of your mind as a room that hasn't been cleaned for years, cluttered, dusty, suffocating. Meditation is like opening the windows wide, letting in fresh air and light, making the space bright and breathable again. To begin, you don't need a sacred or special place. All you need is a quiet spot that makes you feel at peace, maybe a chair in your bedroom, a sunny balcony, or even a bench in the park. Sit comfortably, rest your hands on your knees, close your eyes, and breathe. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat this a few times. Each breath in and out is a chance to release tension and set down the burdens you've been carrying. Once your breath is steady, bring your mind to the goal you desire. Picture it as vividly as you can: colors, sounds, textures, even scents if they come to you. Most importantly, allow yourself to feel the emotions, as if that dream has already come true. Joy, relief, pride. These emotions are what give your visualization real power. Of course, there will be times when your attention drifts. Maybe a voice in your head tells you to check your phone, respond to a message, or worry about unfinished tasks. When that happens, don't judge yourself. Gently guide your focus back to the breath, the same way you'd guide a restless child back to their seat. The key is to understand that mindfulness isn't about making your mind go completely blank. It's about becoming aware of where your attention is going. Once you can direct your focus, you can steer the course of your life. After sitting in meditation for a few minutes, you might start with just 5 minutes and gradually increase. Open your eyes gently. Take a moment to notice your body, your breath, and the new calm energy spreading through you. Step out of your meditation with the deep belief that what you just envisioned isn't an illusion, it's already making its way toward you, step by step, along life's path. Repeating this combination of visualization and relaxation doesn't just keep you calm amid the busyness of life, it also sharpens your awareness in a special way. You'll start to notice signals and opportunities you once overlooked. Like a freshly cleaned room, your mind becomes clearer, leaving space for new possibilities and choices to appear. So why wait? Today, give yourself permission to try. Sit down, relax, let your mind follow your breath, and allow prosperity to flow naturally into your life. But remember, wanting something is one thing, being open and ready to receive it is another. If you're constantly rushing, racing against time, will you even recognize a golden opportunity when it's right in front of you? Remember this, my friend. Wealth and abundance are not a destination, they're a journey. And that journey begins with mindfulness, with the simple act of pausing long enough to listen to yourself. Take a few moments today to reflect on that. 7. The power of sleep. Have you ever noticed that the moments right before you drift off to sleep are when your mind opens up to its most magical laboratory? On the edge between wakefulness and dreaming, your brain becomes like a doorway into infinite creativity, a space where new ideas and possibilities can emerge. In that twilight state, the boldest dreams and the clearest visions often begin to take shape. But there's a crucial element, something that may seem small, yet it's absolutely essential. You must learn how to relax in order for it to happen. If your body is tense, if your mind is still tangled up in worries, it's hard to reach that extraordinary space. True relaxation before sleep is the key that unlocks the door to creativity and manifestation. If life is a stage where you are the main character, then think of your pillow as your most important prop, preparing you for a unique journey. The art of nurturing big dreams. Let's return to the garden metaphor. Your mind works the same way. When you plant seeds of positive intention and nourish them with peace, that inner garden blooms beautifully. But if you allow anxiety, stress, or insecurity to dominate, weeds will quickly take over, choking out the flowers. This is why so many people find it difficult to let go. Here, Stoic philosophy can be a trustworthy companion. It teaches us how to remain calm in the face of adversity and how to cultivate inner strength. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, try taking a slow breath, letting it out gently, and viewing sleep as the fertile ground where your deepest aspirations can grow. First, let's talk about deep sleep. Did you know that during the REM phase, the stage of dreaming, your brain is actually more active than when you're awake? It's like riding an exhilarating roller coaster of inspiration, where ideas, memories, and emotions collide and form new connections. This is the perfect window for sending powerful inner messages. If each night, right before you close your eyes, you focus on the vision of the life you long for, you are essentially sending a clear signal to the universe. But remember, for those seeds to take root, they need quiet soil, a relaxed, unburdened mind. So why not begin with a small ritual before bed? It can be as simple as a few minutes of meditation or just slow, conscious breathing to reconnect with your body. You don't have to be a monk to practice, just close your eyes, relax, and let your thoughts float by like clouds in the sky. For some, it might be a warm cup of tea to calm the body, a gentle piece of music to ease into softness, or a journal entry to note 3 things you're grateful for, along with the dream you want to move toward. When these small habits become nightly rituals, you'll not only sleep better, you'll also strengthen your ability to recognize opportunities around you. The mind is like a room. Once you tidy it up and put things in order, you suddenly notice how much space there is for new things. And it's in the quiet right before sleep that hidden doors to possibility quietly begin to open. So why not start tonight? Allow yourself to let go, open your heart, and let abundance flow naturally to you. Don't just think of it as a wish whispered into the void. Prepare your mind and heart to truly receive it. The secret to turning desire into reality doesn't lie in pushing harder during the day, but often in those silent moments right before you fall asleep. That moment is like a delicate dance between stillness and the opening of countless doors of potential. If you can lay down the burdens of the day, release your worries, and soften your fatigue, you create the space for the seeds of intention in your mind to rise and take root. Remember this: sleep is not just a break for the body, it is a sated springboard, a launch pad that moves you closer to your dreams. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "In the silence of the night, when the mind meets its deepest longings, it is there that great creative power is born." If you can harness that moment, sleep will become more than rest. It will become one of your greatest tools. 8. Morning. The key to unlocking a new reality. Dawn is a magical moment. The instant your eyes open, you realize that no matter how chaotic yesterday may have been, today begins like a fresh, blank page. You might feel tempted to linger under the warmth of your blanket, but if you learn to cherish those first moments of the day, you'll discover they carry immense power to attract what you desire. Don't think that only Stoic philosophers can meditate in silence with a cup of tea. You too can create your own morning ritual, whether simple or elaborate, as long as it brings you peace and sets a positive tone for the day. Try taking a deep breath, feel your body awakening with the light, and give yourself the chance to shape how you want the day to unfold. Every morning is really a blank canvas. In the hands of a child, it might become a messy, colorful picture without form or order. But in the hands of an artist, someone who knows how to choose colors, composition, and vision, that same canvas can become a true masterpiece. In the same way, your morning can turn into a harmonious symphony instead of a random, chaotic tune. Morning habits lay the foundation for your entire day, just like an artist choosing the palette for their painting. It doesn't have to be complicated. The idea is simple. Begin your day with actions that help you feel calm and focused. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. to run marathons or practice yoga on a windy mountaintop. Sometimes a few quiet minutes of deep breathing or slowly sipping a cup of coffee while watching the morning light spill through the window is all it takes to center yourself. The key lies in setting a clear intention. When you do that, you're not only caring for yourself, you're also sending a subtle signal to your subconscious and to the universe. I am ready to receive the good things I wish for. This intentional act is what transforms an ordinary morning into a launch pad for big changes. Now, let's look at a few practical methods. First, visualization. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and vividly imagine what you want to achieve. Don't just think vaguely, let your mind paint the details, the colors, the setting, the sounds you hear, and how you feel once that vision becomes reality. By focusing your imagination this way, you are building a bridge between your present and the life you long to create. Second, dream big, act small. No one can stop you from dreaming of something great, but dreams remain distant unless you begin with small, concrete steps. For example, if your dream is to become the author of a book, you don't need to wait for a publisher's approval. Start simple. Write 1 page a day. By staying consistent with small actions, your dream becomes more tangible and attainable, planting the seeds for future success. And finally, don't overlook a moment that may seem small but is profoundly important, the time right before you sleep. This is the golden hour to release the weight of the day, and it's also when your mind is most open to its deepest potential. If you can let go of worries, the intentions you've planted during the day will have the chance to take flight like seeds sown into the fertile soil of the subconscious. Remember this: sleep is not just physical rest, it is also a powerful launchpad that carries you closer to your hidden dreams. Ancient philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, emphasize that in the stillness of night, when intention meets dreams, the human creative spirit awakens and flourishes most fully. 9. The power of dawn to turn. Intentions into reality morning is a unique time of day when you first open your eyes and realize the world keeps moving forward, even though part of you wants to cling to the warmth of your blanket. That moment holds a hidden secret. It can be the key that helps you attract and shape the things you long for. Picture yourself as a Stoic, reflecting on life, keeping your mind clear and steady against the whirlwind of daily routines. Whenever you feel stuck in old patterns, return to that image to find calm and realignment. One of the most powerful morning rituals is the practice of gratitude. The moment you wake up, pause and think of 3 things you're grateful for. This small exercise helps shake off grogginess, prevents negative thoughts from creeping in, and directs your mind toward the positive. Over time, gratitude works like an invisible magnet, slowly pulling opportunities and good things closer to you. Another essential element is movement. Don't think of high-intensity challenges like running a marathon at sunrise unless that genuinely excites you. Instead, just a few stretches, a short walk around your home, or even turning on some music and dancing freely in your living room can be enough to awaken your body. Movement doesn't just release feel-good endorphins to lift your mood, it also sparks your energy so you can start the day fully alive. Remember, every morning is a chance to reset. If you use it to relax, set your intentions, and nurture your spirit, you'll be surprised at how the universe begins to align events in your favor. So next time you wake up, instead of dragging yourself to the coffee maker feeling drained, try creating a personal morning ritual. From those simple habits, you may unlock doors to possibilities far beyond your original expectations. And as the day winds down, remember that life is simply the outcome of what you choose to build today. Don't postpone showing up as your true self, because if you don't start pursuing your dream now, tomorrow will just repeat the habits of yesterday. As Brian Tracy once emphasized, if you don't start building your dream today, tomorrow you'll only have more of what you already had yesterday. 10. The power of visualization and creation. Have you ever felt like the entire world was working against you? In those moments, you want to stay focused on your goals, but your mind is buzzing like a radio turned up to full volume, blasting dozens of channels all at once. Modern life piles on pressure from work deadlines and social media to countless little distractions, leaving your brain with no room to rest. But here's the surprising truth. You don't have to look far to find balance. A powerful tool is already within your reach. It's called conscious breathing. It may sound simple, but don't underestimate it. You don't need to abandon everything and retreat to a monastery on a distant mountain. All you need is a quiet moment, sit down, pay attention to your breath, and you'll be amazed at how quickly the current of your life starts shifting in a more positive direction. Conscious breathing isn't just a buzzword you hear at motivational seminars. It's a proven technique that reduces stress, sharpens focus, and restores mental balance. Picture your brain as a car speeding down the highway, your foot pressing hard on the gas. If you keep going like that, burnout or a crash is inevitable. That's where mindful breathing comes in, as the safety brake that slows you down before it's too late. Every inhale brings fresh oxygen and energy into your body. Every exhale releases layers of worry, tension, and stress that have built up throughout the day. It's like cleaning out a cluttered room. Once you clear away the mess, you suddenly notice everything clearly, even the keys you thought you'd lost. In that clarity, you find the vision, creativity, and direction to keep moving toward your dreams. Now, let's talk about the link between intention and action. So often, the things we wish for feel as distant as a star glittering in the night sky. We want a more meaningful job, deeper relationships, or even better, a slice of pizza that somehow doesn't make us gain weight. Sounds tempting, doesn't it? But instead of tying our desires to specific actions, we usually fall into the same trap. I'll do it tomorrow. This is where conscious breathing becomes your ally. By simply pausing, taking a deep breath in, and slowly exhaling, you give your mind space to calm down and step out of the chaos of modern life, full of deadlines, notifications, and endless noise. It sounds almost too simple, but this tool is literally right under your nose, ready anytime. You don't need expensive retreats or fancy classes. Just sit down, close your eyes, and breathe. You may be surprised to discover that life begins to shift in meaningful ways from those very breaths. The key is remembering that conscious breathing isn't just a nice idea from a self-help talk. It's a time-tested practice. When done correctly, it relieves mental burdens, sharpens concentration, and builds a stable foundation for action. Think of your mind as a car engine revving at maximum speed. Left unchecked, it's only a matter of time before something breaks. Mindful breathing is the brake that gives you control. Every inhale is fresh energy nourishing your body. Every exhale clears away the dust of worry and tension. It's just like cleaning a messy room. Once the piles of old papers and random clutter are gone, you suddenly notice the bright floor underneath, and maybe even that important key sitting in the corner all along. In the same way, when you free your mind through breath, you regain clarity and rediscover the path to goals that once felt out of reach. Let's return to the bond between intention and action. Many times our desires feel impossibly far away, like a star in another galaxy. We imagine a job that fulfills us, relationships with real depth, or maybe even guilt-free pizza. Smile. Yet instead of moving toward those dreams, we get stuck in the familiar cycle of procrastination, whispering, tomorrow. And this is where conscious breathing, simple but powerful, shows up again. Just a few deep breaths can quiet your racing mind. In today's world, we're bombarded by noise traffic, phone notifications, social media pulling us in 1,000 directions. It's like standing under a roaring waterfall, losing touch with your own inner voice. But what if I told you that the key to reconnecting with yourself, and even with the universe, is not another app, not another seminar, but something that seems simple, yet isn't always easy? Silence. For many, silence feels uncomfortable, even scary. But in truth, it's one of the most valuable keys we have. In Stoic philosophy, silence is the gateway to peace amidst chaos. It doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means holding your inner calm, steady in the middle of the storm. From that place, you can observe, reflect, and listen to yourself more deeply. Picture sitting quietly in an empty room. No music, no phone, no interruptions. In that stillness, you begin to notice another kind of language, not words, but subtle guidance, gentle nudges, and signals from the universe that have always been there, waiting for you to pay attention. You might wonder, can simply sitting in silence really help me turn dreams into reality? The answer lies in the power of focus. Our minds are like old radios. If you keep twisting the dials randomly, all you get is static and noise. But once you tune to the right frequency, the sound becomes clear. Silence is that tuning moment. It's how you adjust the dial to hear the channel you truly want. It's like trying to hear your favorite song in the middle of a chaotic music festival, drums pounding, guitars blasting, people shouting all out around you. It's nearly impossible to recognize the melody you're searching for. But the moment you step away from the noise and give yourself some space, that familiar tune suddenly becomes clear, pure, soothing, and unmistakable. Some things may seem impossible at first, but if you pause for just a moment and step away from the chaos, everything begins to reveal itself more clearly than ever. Sounds, images, even your own thoughts become sharper and easier to grasp. And one of the simplest ways to nurture this clarity is through daily meditation. You don't need to be a monk or spend hours on a mountaintop. Just 5 minutes a day in a quiet place, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat a few times, and you'll notice the restless stream of thoughts settle, like a lake returning to stillness after a storm. Once your body and mind are relaxed, try visualizing what you truly desire. Imagine you're in a movie theater, and the film on the screen is your dream. Don't try to control every detail. Just let it unfold naturally. Too often, people treat life like a race. But the truth is, you don't always have to run. Sometimes, simply letting go, allowing yourself to just be is enough. That's when the pieces start falling into place, and life begins to flow in its own rhythm. So the next time you feel drained by the noise of the outside world, remember this. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's an opportunity to return to yourself, to reconnect with the energy of the universe. In a world that grows louder by the day, the ability to pause and find your inner stillness is one of the most powerful secrets to turning dreams into reality. So take a deep breath, clear the clutter in your mind, and listen. The universe is always sending messages, it's just waiting for you to be quiet enough to hear them. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "In silence, the universe will whisper its secrets." If you've made it this far with me, leave me a small sign in the comments by writing, "You attract what you focus on." I would love to hear your success stories and your real-life experiences. And if you found this content helpful or inspiring, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Doing so not only helps YouTube share these videos with more people, but it also gives me the motivation to keep creating and sharing meaningful content with you. Don't forget to check out the 2 videos recommended at the end of this clip. You might discover exactly the message you've been needing. Thank you so much for your time and support. I'll see you in the next video.